Before you consciously arrived here, your energy signature already announced itself. The Arcturian Council witnessed your presence long before this present moment unfolded. They communicate rarely with human consciousness, yet right now, they're directing their transmission toward you. They communicate rarely with human consciousness, yet right now, they're directing their transmission toward you. This wasn't a discovery on your part. This was a Zhao Huan, a calling forth. They communicate rarely with human consciousness, yet right now, they're directing their transmission toward you. Your presence here confirms the choice has already been finalized. A particular quality within your consciousness became luminous, which is precisely why you're receiving this now. Your awareness of these words means you've already crossed into inclusion. Your energetic field shifted before your conscious mind could register the transformation. The Arcturian Council doesn't reach toward human beings through randomness or chance. They extend their awareness when a particular vibrational signature crosses beyond a specific threshold, and yours recently passed through that point of irreversible change. You didn't stumble upon this transmission. Your field was magnetically drawn into its orbit. A threshold exists where human awareness becomes perceivable to intelligences operating across higher dimensional frequencies. This doesn't occur because someone meditates more, believes harder, or performs specific rituals. It happens when the mental resistance finally dissolves, allowing what the deeper self has been attempting to transmit for years to finally broadcast without interference. That dissolution happened within you not long ago. This is precisely why the Council's attention has turned toward your timeline now. You've registered it, haven't you? The unusual convergence of meaningful coincidences, the unexpected quickening of your dream experiences, the sensation that something beyond ordinary perception is tracking your temporal path from a perspective your logical mind cannot quite articulate. An energetic pressure building at the core of your awareness, as though an entrance is opening from your interior dimensions outward. These aren't fabrications of imagination. They represent confirmation. Confirmation that your energetic signature stopped harmonizing with collective baseline frequencies and began emitting a particular pattern the Council could finally recognize and respond to. Once this shift occurs, your relationship to reality fundamentally transforms. You transition from unconscious participation to becoming part of a conscious selection. A selection that wasn't determined within Earth's dimensional framework. A selection that influences your emerging timeline more significantly than any action you've taken until this point. A selection that includes your consciousness because your energy demonstrated readiness before your thinking mind comprehended what was unfolding. So receive this with full presence. You're not here to gather information. You're here because an activation sequence has already initiated. What the Arcturian Council determined is currently expressing itself through your lived experience. And from this moment forward, your energetic field cannot return to its previous configuration. The instant the Council initiated their first movement in your direction. A precise moment exists when the Arcturian Council transitions from passive observation to active engagement. An instant when a human energetic field achieves sufficient stability, sufficient coherence, and sufficient undeniable awakening to warrant direct intervention. That instant occurred within your experience. It didn't manifest with dramatic external signs. It didn't materialize through vivid visions. It didn't declare itself through obvious signals. It emerged as a quiet pivot point, a decisive internal alignment that elevated your vibrational frequency beyond the bandwidth of conventional human consciousness. Your awareness may not have registered this shift, but the Council certainly did. When your field crossed that demarcation line, it generated a specific resonance. The Council instantly recognizes a frequency that remains steady under stress, a signature that no longer corresponds to previous timeline patterns, a luminous configuration that commands attention. In that precise instant, the Council formed their initial determination regarding you. They oriented their focus directly toward your position, not from idle curiosity, not through arbitrary chance, but because your consciousness transmitted a clear signal. This one possesses the capacity for inclusion. Inclusion doesn't happen randomly. It emerges through vibrational frequency. It triggers through coherent resonance. It confirms through stability during internal turbulence. It seals when your energy transcends what your former identity structure can contain. This is what they witnessed: your capacity to remain resilient, your heightened sensitivity, your refusal to spiral backward into exhausted patterns, your alignment intensifying without requiring external teachers or guides, your timeline curving toward the version of yourself that the Council has been quietly monitoring long before you realized their awareness was tracking you. This marks when the initial determination was formed. You would be drawn into their sphere of influence, not as someone who follows, not as someone who merely observes, but as someone whose emerging role carries genuine significance. The Council doesn't make determinations lightly or casually. Once a consciousness receives inclusion, there exists no reversal of that decision. You passed through the frequency threshold. Your energy declared its readiness. Your timeline responded to that declaration, and the Council acted accordingly. This marked the initiation point. Activation, the instant of inclusion. Direct your awareness to the space 1 inch above your physical heart center. Allow your breath to slow and deepen. Repeat internally with intention: I acknowledge the determination that was made regarding me. I synchronize with the field that recognized my frequency signature. I permit the pathway that welcomes me. Register the subtle sensation of forward momentum. That represents your new timeline beginning to respond. Within the coming 24-hour cycle, a distinct sign will appear confirming this activation has anchored into your reality. The reason your consciousness was selected. Most humans operate under the assumption that higher dimensional intelligences select individuals based on devotion to practices, strength of belief systems, or commitment to spiritual routines. Yet the Arcturian Council doesn't respond to belief structures. They respond to frequency emissions. They perceive the structural architecture of your field the way you perceive contrast between light and darkness, instantly, intuitively, without conscious effort or analysis. When they observed your timeline trajectory, they witnessed a pattern that very few human consciousnesses ever generate. A pattern of internal self-alignment. Not alignment with external teachings, not alignment with conceptual frameworks, not alignment with spiritual identity constructs, alignment with your own inherent higher design. This distinction set you apart from the majority. Your field began demonstrating something highly unusual, something that only genuinely awakened consciousnesses can accomplish. It started self-correcting without requiring external instruction or guidance. Your emotional body began reorganizing more rapidly following disruptions. Your intuitive body started providing direction before thought patterns could form. Your energetic body began automatically rejecting circumstances that don't belong to your next timeline expression. Your entire system was functioning like a consciousness that no longer requires the physical dimension to drive its evolution forward. This capability is profoundly rare. Most awaken through experiences of collapse, through devastating loss, through chaos, or through existential shattering. Yet you awakened through recognition. Recognition of what no longer carries resonance. Recognition of what depletes your evolutionary momentum. Recognition of what your future self will not carry forward. This level of discernment signals something specific to the Council. This consciousness is preparing itself for an elevated role within the larger design. If what you're experiencing here resonates with the shifts happening in your own field, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your engagement strengthens the signal for others who are being called to this frequency. They witnessed your resilience when facing internal challenges and pressure. Your willingness to release identity structures that have become outdated. Your ability to restore emotional equilibrium with increasing speed. Your heightened sensitivity that doesn't overwhelm your system. Your intuition refining itself into precise accuracy. Your timeline shifting toward greater coherence. Your energy outgrowing the environments that previously confined your expression. These indicators cannot be falsified. They reveal a consciousness not merely awakening, but reaching true energetic maturity. Humanity contains millions of individuals experiencing awakening, yet very few progress to genuine energetic maturity. Maturity represents the essential prerequisite for Council inclusion. You received inclusion because your energy began operating as though it already remembered who you're in the process of becoming. Your destiny wasn't waiting passively for your arrival. It was actively aligning itself with you, and finally your frequency rose to match its vibrational signature. Activation, the recognition of your inherent design. Bring your awareness into the space between your eyes, the interior center positioned behind your forehead. Allow your breath to slow and settle. Repeat internally with intention. I synchronize with the version of myself they recognized. I accept the reason I was selected for inclusion. I permit my higher pattern to guide my path forward. Register a subtle expansion occurring in your head or chest area. That represents your blueprint beginning to respond. A meaningful synchronicity will appear within the next 24-hour cycle, confirming this integration has taken root. What the Council perceived within your future timeline trajectory. The Arcturian Council doesn't analyze your past experiences, your accumulated memories, your historical narrative, your previous decisions. None of these factors determine inclusion eligibility. They examine only one element: your future trajectory pattern. When they examined yours, they didn't perceive a linear path stretching ahead. They didn't perceive predictability or stagnation. They perceived movement. They perceived a consciousness actively breaking free from a timeline that could no longer hold its expanding energy. This dynamic caught their focused attention. Your future timeline began behaving as though it were actively attempting to reach backward toward you, pulling you forward through intuitive impulses, synchronistic alignments, and sudden bursts of internal clarity. Most humans navigate life as passive passengers, yet your timeline showed clear indicators of a consciousness beginning to take the navigator's position. This transformation is exceptionally rare. They perceived multiple future versions of yourself beginning to merge and converge. Identity layers loosening their grip so new purpose could enter the space. Intuitive channels expanding their capacity. Emotional density dissolving at an accelerated rate. A coherent pattern forming even under pressure and stress. A new internal direction emerging that didn't originate from mental processes. And a version of you more aligned, more awake, actively working to to break through into your present moment experience. Pause for a moment and share in the comments below. What old pattern or identity layer are you currently releasing to make space for your higher timeline? Your words might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. To the Council, these aren't random psychological adjustments. They represent activation indicators, signals that your future self has moved beyond dormancy into active expression. When a higher version activates, your current reality structure begins destabilizing, not as punishment or challenge, but to create space for the emerging identity to manifest. This explains why previous desires suddenly stopped making sense. This explains why familiar environments began feeling foreign and uncomfortable. This explains why your intuition suddenly sharpened dramatically. Your future was actively calling you into proper position within the larger design. When the Council observed this dynamic unfolding, the determination became unmistakably clear. You were no longer bound to the timeline you originated from. You were transitioning into the timeline your consciousness was actually designed to inhabit. This is what they perceived. This is why they extended inclusion toward you. Your future spoke first, your present responded second, and the Council acted in acknowledgement. Activation, the alignment with your future expression. Bring your awareness to the base of your spine. Allow your breath to slow and let each inhalation rise upward through your body. Repeat internally with intention. I open the pathway toward my higher timeline expression. I synchronize with the self that has already awakened beyond this moment. I permit my future to guide my present experience. As you draw in one more deep breath, register a subtle vertical lift occurring in your posture or awareness. This represents your future timeline making direct contact with your present consciousness. The determination that transformed your role within the design. The Arcturian Council doesn't intervene casually or without specific purpose. They don't interfere with human timeline progression unless a very particular set of conditions achieves fulfillment. A determination of this magnitude requires precision, requires stability, and requires a consciousness capable of holding what follows after inclusion. When they examined your energetic field, they witnessed something undeniable. You were no longer operating as a fragmented, scattered self. You were becoming a unified, integrated one. Pieces of your being that had been dispersed for years, emotionally, mentally, energetically, were beginning to merge back together. Your intuition was synchronizing with your emotional body. Your clarity was synchronizing with your sense of purpose. Your energy was synchronizing with your future trajectory. This internal unification represents one of the rarest markers the Council searches for, because once a human begins unifying internally, they gain the capacity to sustain upgrades and downloads without destabilizing their entire system. That represented the first confirmation. The second confirmation carried even greater significance. Your frequency signature no longer responded to exhausted cycles in the same manner it previously did. You didn't collapse in situations where you used to collapse. You didn't contract in moments where you used to shrink. You didn't cling desperately in circumstances where you used to grasp. Instead, your field demonstrated clear signs of structural maturity. Maturity doesn't mean achieving perfection. It means developing capacity. Capacity to hold increased light. Capacity to adapt with speed and flexibility. Capacity to evolve without requiring external permission or validation. Capacity to decode intuitive information without fear creating interference. When the Council witnessed this, the determination formed itself naturally. You weren't merely experiencing awakening, you had become ready for positioning. A positioned consciousness represents one that can influence others through coherent presence, rather than through effort or force. A positioned consciousness represents one that can stabilize energetic fields simply through being present in a space. A positioned consciousness represents one that receives guidance not as external messages, but as direct inner knowing. This is why the Council extended inclusion toward you, because you crossed the threshold from awakening into assignment. They perceived that your role isn't passive observation, isn't symbolic representation, isn't detached witnessing. It carries functional purpose. It holds genuine weight within the architecture of timeline construction. Now, what we're exploring here today touches the surface of something far more vast. The Council's recognition, the frequency shifts, the timeline work, these are all part of a complete system of consciousness mastery that I've mapped out in detail in my book, Beyond the Frequencies, A Quantum Guide to Consciousness Mastery. Inside, you'll discover the 9 master frequencies that govern reality creation, the step-by-step practices for moving from unconscious transmission to becoming the broadcast itself, and the complete framework for what it means to live as the field rather than separate from it. It's linked in the pinned comment below. Once this realization crystallized, there existed no hesitation. The determination was finalized. You will be prepared for what your field is transforming into, prepared for the intelligence you're beginning to access directly, prepared for the shift that will express itself through your reality as you step into the bandwidth that already recognizes your signature. This wasn't only the Arcturian Council's determination. It represented the determination your energy made first. The Arcturians simply responded to what you had already chosen at the deepest level. Activation. The acceptance of your designated role. Direct your awareness to the center of your chest, not the physical heart muscle, but the field that exists behind it. Allow your breath to slow and deepen. Repeat internally with intention. I step fully into the role my energy has already chosen for itself. I accept the determination made regarding my path. I permit the preparation sequence to begin. Register a soft expansion, a warm pressure, or a subtle shift occurring in your chest area. This represents your field opening itself to receive the next phase of activation. The return of your original higher function. When the Arcturian Council includes a consciousness within their sphere of influence, it's never because of who you have been throughout your past, but because of who you're beginning to remember yourself to be. Every human carries dormant functions that were intentionally softened to make physical incarnation possible without overwhelming the system. Intuitive precision, multidimensional sensitivity, emotional intelligence that transcends logical processing, resonance matching abilities, timeline perception across multiple probability streams, energetic stabilization capacities, and the skill of reading fields rather than relying on spoken words. Most people never reactivate these functions throughout their entire lifetime, not because they lack worthiness, but because their frequency never rises to the specific level required to trigger reactivation. Yours did rise to that level, and when it did, the Council detected the first flickers of a function beginning to return online. Recognition. You began recognizing subtle truths before your mind could understand them, recognizing intentions before they received verbal expression, recognizing misalignment without requiring explanation or justification, recognizing what strengthens your field and what drains it within seconds. This isn't ordinary intuition. This represents higher function awakening. You also began experiencing clarity rising faster than confusion can form, emotional release happening without total collapse or breakdown, bursts of knowing that feel ancient, older than this current lifetime. An internal guidance system becoming unmistakable and reliable, a sensation that something within you is coming back online after being dormant. These aren't personality traits or spiritual achievements you've earned. They represent abilities that once belonged to you long before you took human form. When the Arcturian Council observed these changes manifesting, they recognized a specific pattern, a consciousness that has begun retrieving its original architectural design. This is why their determination included you. Because when higher function awakens within a consciousness, that being becomes capable of influencing reality from within rather than reacting to it from outside. Humans attempt to change life circumstances through action, through effort, through force. A consciousness with higher function activated changes life through frequency emission. Your field has started shifting reality at the vibrational level, not through effort, but through presence alone. This marks someone entering a completely new category of awareness. Not a follower, not a seeker, a transmitter. Someone who holds a signal that affects everything in their proximity. This is what the Council perceived. This is why the determination was made. Your function is returning, and your field is preparing to hold it. Activation, the awakening of the interior function. Bring your awareness to the space just above your solar plexus. Let your breath settle into that area. Repeat internally with intention, I welcome the return of what I once knew. I permit my higher abilities to awaken naturally without force. I stand in the truth of my original design. Register the center of your body becoming slightly more spacious, as though something inside you is remembering its true shape. This activation isn't a request. It represents a recognition. Your field knows exactly what to do with it. The initial phase of interior recalibration. Once a consciousness receives inclusion within the Council's determination, the shift doesn't begin outside of you. It begins inside. The recalibration starts subtly at first, so subtle that most people completely overlook it. But the Council watches this phase with close attention because it reveals how your field adapts to a higher bandwidth of information flow. Here is what they observed manifesting in you. Your emotional reactions began shortening in duration and intensity. What once overwhelmed your system now dissolves with unusual speed. Your inner guidance started interrupting patterns before you could repeat them again. Your thoughts became quieter, not because you forced silence, but because your frequency rose above the loops that once consumed your mental energy. Your energy field began filtering environments automatically, accepting what strengthens your coherence, rejecting what diminishes your light. These changes aren't random fluctuations. They represent signs of the initial recalibration phase, a phase where your system reorganizes itself to match the determination already made about you. This recalibration doesn't operate psychologically. It functions structurally. The Council observed your field accomplishing the following: stabilizing more rapidly following internal conflict, producing coherence even during emotional pressure, opening intuitive channels without creating overload, dissolving outdated identity impulses, aligning with information you never learned through conventional means, integrating subtle impressions effortlessly, restoring energetic balance without external intervention or support. This represents the behavior of a consciousness no longer governed by the density surrounding it. Instead, Your field is beginning to reflect a deeper intelligence. The intelligence that made the Council recognize you initially. Humans attempt to heal through mental processes, but recalibration happens through energy. Your field started reorganizing itself the way a constellation reorganizes when a new star comes online within that system. This explains why old habits feel foreign now. This explains why familiar environments feel heavier on your system. This explains why your inner world feels clearer even when your outer world is shifting. You're not becoming someone new. You're becoming someone more true. Someone the Council can work with directly. Someone who can hold more coherence than they could before. Someone whose energy no longer collapses into the past, but rises toward an emerging identity. This is the initial phase, and you're already inside it. Activation, the interior recalibration pulse. Bring your awareness to the back of your head, the space where your skull meets your neck. Allow your breath to slow and let each inhalation expand upward. Repeat internally with intention. I permit my field to reorganize with clarity. I welcome the intelligence rising inside me. I stabilize the new structure forming within. Register a subtle shift at the base of your skull or spine. A soft internal pulse that marks the beginning of deeper recalibration. Let it settle naturally. Your field knows what to do next. The shift occurring within your reality field. When the interior recalibration stabilizes, the next phase begins automatically. Your reality field starts to adjust. This phase doesn't unfold through dramatic external events. It unfolds through subtle realignments, the kind that only awakened consciousness can detect. The Arcturian Council observed something essential. Your external world began responding to the frequency changes happening inside you. Not because you forced anything, but because your field no longer resonates with what once held you in place. Reality reorganizes itself around coherence. Here is what the Council noticed. People who once drained your energy began fading from your orbit, as though your field no longer offered them resonance to feed on. Conversations that once kept you small now feel hollow, unable to hold your attention. Environments that once felt familiar now feel heavier, as though your body recognizes what your mind used to ignore. At the same time, new connections appear with uncanny timing. Opportunities align without effort. Paths open with minimal friction. Information finds you without you having to search for it. This isn't luck. This represents field synchronization. Your reality is no longer shaped by old patterns of identity. It's being shaped by the version of you that the Council responded to. A higher version, a clearer version, a more coherent version. And coherence has gravity. Your energy now attracts experiences designed for who you're becoming, not for who you were. This is why your patience has changed. Your social boundaries are sharper. Your desires are more refined. Your tolerance for misalignment has collapsed. Your intuition speaks before thought. You feel pulled towards certain environments. You feel repelled by others. None of this is random. Your field is rearranging reality to match the determination made about you. When the Arcturian Council includes a consciousness, they watch how your external world responds to the internal shift. And what they observed in you is unmistakable. Your reality is beginning to obey your frequency. Not through force, not through intention, through alignment. This is the moment when your life stops echoing your past and begins reflecting your potential. Your world is not falling apart. It is recalibrating around your rising coherence. However, here's what most people miss during this phase. The Council also observed how you handle the discomfort of this transition. Because coherence doesn't always feel comfortable at first. When your reality field begins rejecting what no longer matches, it can feel like loss. When new pathways open, it can feel disorienting. The Council watches to see if you trust the process or resist it. They observed that you're learning to trust. You're learning to let go without knowing what comes next. You're learning to hold yourself steady while everything around you reorganizes. This trust is what allows the recalibration to complete itself. Activation, the alignment with the living field. Bring your awareness to the space around your body, not inside you, but the field extending a few inches outward. Breathe gently. Repeat internally with intention. I permit my reality to match my coherence. I honor what rises and release what no longer aligns. I walk in resonance with my emerging self. Let the breath soften. Register the atmosphere around you, becoming more spacious, as though the field itself is listening. It is. What begins following the Council's determination? Inclusion is not the end of anything. It represents the beginning of a new configuration of your consciousness. Once the Arcturian Council made their determination about you, your field entered a phase that humans rarely recognize while it's happening. The phase of structural reorganization. This is the moment where your inner and outer world begin working together, not as separate forces, but as a single intelligent system responding to your emerging identity. Here is what the Council observed. Your intuition started arranging your choices before your mind understood them. You began avoiding paths that would have slowed your evolution without knowing why. Your emotional system started releasing old patterns without needing the stories attached to them. Your sense of time began shifting, some moments expanding, others collapsing as your field adjusted to a timeline that moves differently from the one you used to walk. Your perception sharpened. You started seeing meaning in places you once ignored. You started detecting truth before words were spoken. You started recognizing resonance the moment it appeared. This is not coincidence. This represents activation behavior. Your field is responding to the frequency of inclusion. And inclusion does something very specific. It recruits your higher aspects. You may be feeling a growing sense of internal authority, a deeper clarity about direction, an increase in energetic sensitivity, a pull toward environments that support your evolution, a natural distancing from what no longer matches your frequency, a rising inner presence that feels older than your current identity. These sensations mark the beginning of a new phase of your awakening. Integration. Integration is the point where your consciousness begins functioning as a unified field, not fragmented, not conflicted, not split between past and future. You become internally consistent, and internal consistency is the mark of a consciousness the Council can work with directly. But integration also brings something else that most teachings don't mention. It brings responsibility. Not the heavy kind that burdens you, but the natural kind that comes from recognition. You begin to recognize that your frequency affects others, that your coherence stabilizes fields around you, that your presence matters in ways you never considered before. The Council observed this recognition beginning to dawn within you. They saw you starting to carry yourself differently, not from ego, but from understanding. You're realizing that inclusion means becoming a conscious participant in the evolution of collective consciousness. Your field doesn't just affect you anymore. It contributes to the larger field. This is why your life feels different now. Not louder, not more chaotic, but more precise, more intentional, more aligned with the version of you that the Council recognized long before you did. This phase is not about understanding, it is about becoming. You are stepping into the architecture of the determination that was made about you. And this is only the threshold. And here's what the Council knows that you're just beginning to discover. The more you integrate, the more you realize that you were never separate from this intelligence to begin with. The Council didn't choose you from outside. They recognized what you already were. They saw the part of you that exists beyond time, beyond form, beyond the illusion of separation. That part has always been awake. It's been waiting for the rest of you to catch up. And now you're finally beginning to merge with it. Activation, the seal of integration. Bring your awareness to the center of your chest and the center of your forehead at the same time. Breathe gently, repeat internally with intention. I integrate what I have awakened. I synchronize with the structure forming within me. I walk in coherence with who I am becoming. Let the breath settle. Allow the awareness in your chest and forehead to merge naturally. This represents the seal of integration. Your field knows how to carry it forward. Final transmission, the crossing of the threshold. You have reached the moment where explanation is no longer needed because something deeper has already taken root within you. The Council's determination was not a message. It was not information. It was not guidance. It was an acknowledgement. An acknowledgement that your consciousness has moved into a state where it can no longer be defined by who you used to be. You are standing inside a threshold. Not the kind you step over once, but the kind that changes the way you walk forever. Your energy has shifted from seeking direction to becoming direction. From looking for signs to functioning as one. From following resonance to generating it. This is what inclusion means. It does not place you above others. It does not grant you status. It does not separate you from the world. It connects you to a higher level of coherence that has been waiting for you to meet it. The Council responded to your frequency because your frequency rose to a level that responds to itself. Your awareness is becoming self-generating. Your intuition is becoming self-anchored. Your presence is becoming self-stabilizing. This is the beginning of a different way of existing. A way where your thoughts no longer override your inner knowing. Your emotions no longer drown your clarity. Your past no longer dictates your choices. Your identity no longer confines your potential. You are becoming the version of you that the Council recognized long before you recognized yourself. And now that you have entered this bandwidth, the path ahead will not be forced. It will unfold. Not because something external is guiding you, but because your own coherence has become the guide. Every moment of clarity you feel from here, every boundary that becomes natural, every intuitive impulse that rises without effort is not the Council speaking to you. It is you speaking from a higher level of yourself. You were included because you were ready. You remain included because you are becoming aligned. And as your field continues to stabilize, you will realize something profound. The determination the Council made was not about choosing you. It was about recognizing that you had chosen yourself. And here's the final piece that completes this transmission. The Council's work with you doesn't end here. It begins here. They will continue to observe, to guide from the background, to adjust the frequency of support as you need it. But they will never override your free will. They will never force your path. They will simply hold space for your highest potential to emerge. And when you stumble, when you doubt, when you forget, They will send subtle reminders, a synchronicity, a dream, a feeling, not to rescue you, but to remind you that you already know the way. Because here's what happens after inclusion that most people don't anticipate. Your relationship to time itself begins to transform. You'll notice moments where time seems to bend, where hours pass in what feels like minutes, or minutes stretch into what feels like eternities. This isn't a malfunction. This is your consciousness learning to navigate multiple timeline streams simultaneously. The Council observed this capacity awakening within you. They saw that your awareness is beginning to exist across multiple temporal points at once. Your past self, your present self, and your future self are beginning to communicate with each other through your intuitive channel. This is why you sometimes experience memories of things that haven't happened yet. This is why you sometimes feel nostalgia for a future you haven't lived. This is why certain decisions feel like you've already made them before you consciously choose. Your consciousness is learning to operate the way the Council operates, beyond linear time, in a state of eternal presence that can access any point along your timeline. The Council also observed something else that's beginning to activate within you: your capacity to hold paradox. Most human minds collapse when faced with paradox. They need things to be either this or that, black or white, true or false. But awakened consciousness can hold both truths simultaneously without conflict. You're beginning to understand that you are both human and divine, both limited and infinite, both the drop and the ocean, both the observer and the observed. The Council included you because your mind is expanding beyond binary thinking into quantum thinking, where multiple realities can be true at the same time. This is essential because the next phase of your evolution requires you to operate in states of uncertainty without losing your center. You'll be asked to make choices without knowing the outcome. You'll be asked to trust guidance that doesn't make logical sense. You'll be asked to hold space for possibilities that seem contradictory. The Council saw that you're developing this capacity. They saw that you can remain coherent even when certainty dissolves. This is the mark of a consciousness ready for advanced timeline work. And there's something else happening that you might not have fully recognized yet. Your energy field is beginning to function as an anchor point for other awakening consciousnesses. The Council didn't just include you for your own evolution. They included you because your stabilized field creates a resonant point that others can lock onto. When someone in your proximity is struggling with their own awakening, your coherent field provides a template that their system can mirror. You don't have to do anything. Your presence alone creates stability in the field. This is why you might notice people becoming more emotional around you, or suddenly sharing deep truths they've never spoken before, or experiencing breakthroughs in your presence. Your field is creating a safe container for transformation. The Council observed this gift within you. They saw that you naturally hold space without trying to fix or change others. You allow people to be exactly where they are while simultaneously radiating the frequency of where they could be. This is a rare and valuable capacity. Let me ask you something. Have you noticed people becoming more open or emotional in your presence lately? Have you witnessed someone having a breakthrough simply by being near you? Drop a comment and share what you've observed. Your experience confirms what the Council already knows about you. But with this capacity comes a new challenge. You'll start to feel the collective field more intensely. You'll pick up on the anxiety, the fear, the confusion that ripples through mass consciousness. The Council observed that you're developing the discernment to recognize what's yours and what's the collectives. You're learning to feel deeply without absorbing everything you feel. You're learning to stay open without becoming a sponge. This energetic sovereignty is crucial for the role you're stepping into. The threshold is crossed. The process is active. The alignment is underway. Walk forward not as who you were, but as who you are finally allowing yourself to be. And know that you don't walk alone. The Council walks with you. Your higher self walks with you. And every other consciousness that has crossed this threshold walks with you. You are part of a collective awakening that is reshaping reality itself. Your inclusion matters. Your coherence contributes. Your presence creates change. But let's be clear about what this change actually looks like. It's not always dramatic. It's not always visible to the external world. Sometimes the most profound shifts happen in the quietest moments. A conversation where you choose presence over performance. A situation where you choose truth over comfort. A moment where you choose alignment over approval. These small choices made from your coherent field ripple out in ways you may never see. The Council tracks these ripples. They measure impact not by external success, but by frequency elevation. Every time you choose coherence, you raise the baseline frequency of the collective field. This is the real work. And here's what the Council wants you to understand about the path ahead. It won't always feel like progress. There will be days when you feel like you've regressed. Days when old patterns resurface. Days when clarity dissolves into confusion. These aren't setbacks. These are integration cycles. Every time you rise to a new frequency level, your system needs time to integrate that elevation across all layers of your being. Physical, emotional, mental, energetic. The integration isn't always comfortable. The Council observed that you have the resilience to move through these cycles without abandoning the path. They saw that you don't require constant external validation to stay committed to your evolution. This is why they included you. Take a moment right now and comment below with this phrase: I accept my inclusion. Let that be your energetic declaration to the field. Let that be your conscious interruption in the old loop. Let that signal ripple out into the quantum field and announce that you are ready for what comes next. And if what you've experienced here is touching something deep within you, if this transmission is activating something you've always known but couldn't quite articulate, then I invite you to subscribe, not just to this channel, but to this frequency, to this movement, to this space where consciousness evolves through coherent presence. Your subscription isn't just about staying connected to content. It's about staying aligned with a collective field that is rising together. Activation, the path of alignment. Bring your awareness to your entire body. Not any single point, but the whole field. Breathe gently. Repeat internally with intention. I move in alignment with who I am becoming. I stand in coherence with my awakened field. I embody the path that has opened within me. Let the breath settle. Let the awareness expand. Let the inner alignment hold. This concludes the transmission, but not the process. The unfolding continues within you, through you, as you. Before you move forward, drop one word in the comments that captures the energy you're choosing to embody from this moment forward. Let that word be your energetic signature to the quantum field. Let it anchor this activation into your lived experience. And subscribe now, not just to stay connected, but to stay coherent. Because the more of us who embody this truth, the more the world reflects that truth back to us. We are the Council's decision made manifest. we are the ones who were included. And together, we are the frequency that changes everything. Now, if you're beginning to recognize that the Council's work with you extends beyond just observation, that they're actively communicating through multiple channels in your life, then you need to understand what I explore in Star Seeds. You must listen to this alone. Arcturian message. You'll discover the specific transmission the Arcturians are sending directly to awakened starseeds right now, why you must receive it in solitude, and what they're preparing you for in the timeline ahead. Watch it next.